Imagine East Asia in the late 1500s. It was a time of big changes. Powerful countries wanted to conquer new lands. Korea, with its rich history, was in danger. Japan, led by Toyotomi Hideyoshi, wanted to take over Korea. He saw it as a stepping stone to more conquests. In 1592, the Imjin War began. Japanese warships appeared, carrying a huge army. Korea fought back bravely. Coastal cities fell and fear spread. The Joseon dynasty was close to collapsing. Korea had a tough choice. In this dark time, a hero appeared. Admiral Yi Sun-sin would become a legend. The Japanese invasion caused panic everywhere in Korea. People were scared and confused as the enemy soldiers marched across the land. Battles raged, filling the air with smoke and the smell of death. Korean soldiers fought bravely, but they were often forced to retreat. The royal court, which hadn't taken the Japanese threat seriously at first, was in a mess. They tried to organize defenses and ask for help from other countries, but time was running out. People in the court started blaming each other. Regular people suffered the most. Their villages were destroyed and many innocent people died. Those who could ran away to the mountains and forests. Korean society was falling apart. But even in this darkness, the Korean people didn't give up. Stories of bravery began to spread, stories of ordinary people doing amazing things to protect their homes. And in this darkest hour, a hero emerged, Admiral Yi Sun-sin. Amid chaos, Admiral Yi Sun-sin emerged as a strong leader. Born in 1545, Yi felt a strong sense of duty. He was smart, a natural leader, and good at fighting. Yi faced many challenges but never gave up. His love for his country and soldiers helped him rise. Every challenge made him a better strategist. His brilliant strategies made him a legend. To understand the Imjin War, we need to look at East Asia in the late 1500s. It was a time of changing alliances and powerful rulers. The main players were China, Korea, and Japan, led by Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Korea was a bridge between China and Japan. This kept things peaceful but dangerous. If China and Japan fought, Korea would be caught in the middle. By the end of the 1500s, a war was brewing. Japan, united under Hideyoshi, wanted to conquer new lands. Hideyoshi dreamed of a huge empire with Japan in charge. He saw Korea as a stepping stone to the rest of Asia. China was powerful but had its own problems. Economic troubles kept China busy, missing Japan's threat. Ambition, weakness, and miscalculations led to a war that changed East Asian history forever. Toyotomi Hideyoshi, the man who started the Imjin War, was very ambitious and ruthless. He was born a peasant but became the ruler of Japan through cleverness, military skill, and making alliances. By 1590, he controlled all of Japan, but he wanted more. Hideyoshi dreamed of conquering China and ruling all of Asia. He thought Korea would be an easy target and a good starting point for his invasion. He sent messengers to Korea, demanding that they surrender and let his army pass through to attack China. He offered rewards if they agreed, but his threats were clear. The Korean king and his court were shocked. They were used to being respectful to China, and they refused Hideyoshi's demands. This was a big mistake. Hideyoshi was used to getting his way. He saw Korea's refusal as a challenge. He attacked quickly and brutally, starting a devastating war that would last for years. As talks failed and things got worse, a feeling of fear spread across Korea. King Seonjo and his court finally realized that Japan was going to attack. They tried to get ready, but Korea wasn't prepared for such a big war. The Korean army had brave soldiers, but their weapons and tactics were old-fashioned. Noble families were more worried about their own power than about fighting the enemy. Meanwhile, Japan was getting ready to invade. Hideyoshi had gathered a huge army of over 150,000 soldiers with guns, cannons, and a fierce desire to win. Their warships were fast and ready to carry the army across the sea to Korea. As spring arrived in 1592, war was about to begin. Korea was in great danger, and in this storm a hero would emerge, Admiral Yi Sun-sin. Yi Sun-sin was born in 1545, a time of peace but with growing tensions. Court arguments and tension with Japan shaped his early life. Yi was smart, loved learning, and practiced military skills. His family taught him honesty and service. Recognized for his strategy, he joined the Royal Military Academy, but court politics soon tested him. When Yi Sun-sin joined the military, the Korean court was divided. Noble families fought for power, creating an atmosphere of distrust. In this difficult situation, Yi's honesty and dedication made him stand out. Even though he was talented, Yi faced many problems early in his career. He was honest and refused to play dirty political games, which made some powerful officials angry. They accused him of disobeying orders, didn't promote him, and even demoted him to a lower position. But Yi never gave up. He saw every problem as a chance to learn and grow. He studied history, learning from the successes and failures of great leaders. Being away from the capital was actually good for Yi. He was sent to a remote outpost in the north, where he had to defend against attacks from Jurchen tribesmen. It was here that he truly became a great leader. Defending the northern outpost was Yi's first real challenge. The area was harsh, with few resources and unpredictable enemies. Yi turned ordinary soldiers into a strong fighting force. He led by example, sharing hardships and showing bravery. Yi's hard work paid off. The outpost became strong. With the threat of a Japanese invasion growing, Yi Sun-sin faced a new challenge that required his strategic thinking. Korea's navy, although skilled, wasn't ready for the Japanese fleet. Outnumbered, and with weaker ships, Yi needed a new plan. Yi knew that Korea's current warships, called Panokseon, were no match for the Japanese ships. He imagined a new kind of warship that was both fast and powerful, with strong defenses. This idea led to the creation of the famous Jeobukseon, or turtle ship. The turtle ship showed Yi Sun-sin's brilliant leadership and innovative thinking. He brought together skilled shipbuilders, blacksmiths, and weapons experts. Yi's understanding of naval warfare guided the design and building of this revolutionary warship. The Jeobukseon, named for its shell-like covering, was an amazing piece of engineering for the 1500s. Its design gave it a big advantage in battle. The most important part was its armored deck, made of thick wood covered with iron plates. This protected the ship and crew from enemy attacks. The curved shape of the deck helped deflect enemy fire. The Jeobukseon also had lots of weapons. Cannons of different sizes fired from openings in the sides, causing serious damage. These cannons could fire in many directions. For close combat, the Jeobukseon had hidden weapons called hwacha that could shoot many arrows at once. The front of the ship had a sharp ram that could break through enemy ships. The Jeobukseon changed the Imjin War. Its design, weapons, and tough armor gave Yi Sun-sin a big advantage. The armored deck made it almost impossible for Japanese soldiers to climb onto the ship. Japanese cannon fire bounced off the Jeobukseon's shell. This meant Yi could withstand the first attack and then fire back with his own cannons. The Jeobukseon was also fast, allowing it to move quickly through enemy formations. It also scared the Japanese sailors. Its powerful look and the sight of cannon fire bouncing off its deck made the enemy lose confidence. The sound of the Jeobukseon's guns filled the Japanese with fear. At the beginning of the Imjin War, the Japanese were winning. The Korean people needed hope, and Admiral Yi Sun-sin gave it to them at the Battle of Okpo. In May 1592, a Japanese fleet sailed near Okpo, hoping to gain control of the area. They didn't expect Yi Sun-sin and his Jeobukseon. Yi set up his ships in a defensive position. When the Japanese ships sailed into the strait, they were surrounded. Yi Sun-sin attacked with his cannons. The sound of the guns announced a Korean victory. The victory at Okpo made Koreans feel better, but the war wasn't over. The Japanese were still a powerful enemy. Yi Sun-sin knew he had to attack again. At the end of May 1592, a Japanese fleet was anchored in Sacheon harbor. The Japanese leader, Wakisaka Yasuharu, wanted to get revenge for his earlier defeat. He walked right into Yi Sun-sin's trap. Yi saw a chance to win a big victory. The narrow harbor meant the larger Japanese fleet couldn't maneuver easily. At night, Yi's fleet quietly sailed into Sacheon harbor. The Japanese were surprised and unprepared. Yi's flagship fired its cannons, causing great damage. The victories at Okpo and Sacheon made Yi Sun-sin famous, but the biggest test was the Battle of Hansando. In August 1592, a huge Japanese fleet gathered near Hansando. This was Japan's main naval force. Yi Sun-sin knew he couldn't fight them directly. He made a plan to trick the Japanese. Yi placed his smaller fleet near the narrow straits of Hansando. The Japanese, thinking they were stronger, followed the Korean ships. When the Japanese entered the narrow channel, Yi attacked. The Korean ships trapped the Japanese, firing their cannons from both sides. The Jeobukseon and Panoxion caused massive damage. The Japanese fleet was stuck. Yi's clever plan and powerful ships won the day. The Battle of Hansando was a turning point. Yi Sun-sin became a naval legend. By 1598, the Imjin War had gone on for 6 years. Korea had suffered greatly, but the people hadn't given up. Yi's victories made him a national hero. He was a symbol of hope and resistance. His dedication, brilliant strategies, and kindness made people loyal to him. Even when he was falsely accused of treason, Yi stayed strong. He was later given back his position when the situation improved. Yi always put his country first. The Japanese were still dangerous. Yi prepared for one last battle. The fate of Korea rested on his shoulders. His place in history was secure. The last big battle of the Imjin War happened at Myeongnyang Strait. In November 1598, the remaining Japanese forces tried one last time to escape. They wanted to break through the Korean blockade. Standing against them was Admiral Yi Sun-sin. Korea had allied with China, which helped turn the tide of the war. The Japanese fought fiercely, like trapped animals. The battle raged for hours. Yi calmly led his forces, skillfully moving his ships and using the ocean currents to his advantage. The Jeobukseon caused chaos among the Japanese ships. Yi's leadership and the powerful Korean cannons won the battle. As the Battle of Myeongnyang Strait reached its peak, something terrible happened. Yi Sun-sin was hit by a stray bullet. The bullet hit his chest, puncturing a lung. He fell to the deck, struggling to breathe. His closest officers rushed to his side. Their invincible leader was dying. With his last bit of strength, Yi called for his nephew and lieutenants. He gave them one final order. "Do not let others know of my death. Keep beating the war drums. Do not let the enemy know I am gone. Victory is within our grasp. Let us not lose it now." Yi's final command showed his incredible spirit. He knew his death would discourage his troops. Yi's legacy of service and sacrifice would live on. Admiral Yi Sun-sin's legacy grew stronger over time, symbolizing courage, innovation, and patriotism. He saved his nation, giving hope during a dark time. Yi's life showed the strength of the Korean people. He faced incredible challenges, but never gave up. His victories became legendary, stories of bravery passed down. He inspired loyalty by sharing hardships and caring for his men. Everyone's courage was important for victory. After the Imjin War, Admiral Yi Sun-sin became a part of Korean identity. He wasn't just a historical figure. He inspired people and reminded them of Korea's strength. His story, told in books, poems, songs, and movies, showed Koreans the power of courage and patriotism. All over Korea, monuments and memorials honor Yi Sun-sin. Statues of him in his armor look out over the seas he protected. Museums tell the story of his life and battles, showing his brilliant strategies and his love for his country. Yi's influence is everywhere in Korea. Schools, streets, and ships are named after him. His picture is on money and stamps. The values Yi Sun-sin lived by, courage, honesty, innovation, and patriotism, are still important in Korean culture. His story inspires young people, showing them that even one person can make a difference. His legacy is a reminder of the power of hope, sacrifice, and the human ability to do great things. Admiral Yi Sun-sin's story is known all over the world. He is a symbol of courage and leadership, admired for his dedication and innovative thinking. Yi's life shows us that true greatness comes from serving something bigger than yourself. Military leaders still study Yi Sun-sin's battles, amazed by his strategies. His creation of the turtle ship shows he was a visionary leader. Yi's story teaches us more than just military strategy. He was always honest, even when it was difficult. He cared about his men and inspired their loyalty. Admiral Yi Sun-sin's story gives us hope. His life reminds us that courage and innovation can change the world. His legacy shows us the power of the human spirit.